Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm a bit under the weather at the moment. Slight little thing in my throat. I think it's good to be aware of your own health, and just keep an eye on, tickle in your throat. Is it better the next day? If you feel better, have you got a temperature? Oh, how you going? Is this whatever? And then we all do this all the time. Now, what's sometimes harder to do is to do that in larger things like macroeconomics or property prices and things like that. I've just had a large conversation with my mum kind of down that avenue of lots of potential miscalculations in the last, say, 50 years. Because that's, when I look back at history, it's consistently dotted with pretty horrific and horrendous miscalculations over and 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 over again. It's often described as like hubris. This is what we do. We fuck shit up all the time. And our technology allows us to make more things and more then that only increases our ability to fuck up all the time, make mistakes over and over and over and over and over again. And so it's important to be able to take accurate measurements and temperatures and things. So what we did, very simple. Basically, we did a analysis of, and this was just like, we're actually being very conservative, so I think these figures are actually wrong. But what we figured out was 50 years ago, approximately, my mother secured an acre property in Mundaring, and they built for $20,000 and purchased a bit of land for $4,000. That's the total cost of $24,000. This was a double brick house built on a block of land, service block in Mundaring. That block at the moment, we estimated, I think we're pretty accurate, we could be again conservative, we estimated that at the moment of about $800,000. Now, that's pretty simple maths. And funnily enough, the figure that we got to if we divide $800,000 by $24,000, we get 33 and a third. And now the fact that I get that number, that's just, for me, that has all types of, that's a pretty significant number. And so it's interesting that we got there, but that's not the point. 33, let's just say, we'll forget the third. 33 and a third. We'll forget that. We'll just say 33. 33 times anything is a lot. That's a lot of what they call inflation. 33, imagine 32 more of me in this room. That's a lot. It's way more than you even think. It's like a lot of things. If you think of how much your car was, say your car was like $20,000. I've exposed myself now for maths. It's like that means your car's worth $600,000, $660,000. I hope that's right. 666,000. I don't know. Anyway, that's expensive, and it doesn't make sense because everything else is the same. Like it takes, if I dig a hole, say we compare that 33 and a third times to time, because time doesn't have this. Time is different. If I want to dig a hole with a shovel, it takes me the same amount of energy to dig a fucking hole with a shovel as it did 50 years ago. In fact, it's probably less efficient because I'm so much less exposed to digging holes. Maybe if I was in the Labor Party. You've brought it on yourselves, you fucking dickheads. 33 times. $33 and a third times. So to double the price is 100%. So it's like 300,000% or something. Is that, am I, again, I'm off the top of my head. Like, when we get to this like 2% a year, that's 50 years. It's like, that's 100%, yeah? 2%, 100. 33 fucking times. In a state that has the largest unoccupied land, I think, on a monolithic state. I think it's got to be the largest example of that. So we are the most insane. Yeah, this is the most insane place on planet Earth right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah. So those up and goes, that's paying. Would you pay $33 for a fucking up and go? $33.30? I don't think so. That doesn't really hit home. It doesn't really hit home the same way. Yeah. It means like it's like, yeah. This is the craziest. It's like broad daylight situation that we could ever have seen. And they're like, the old thing of like, well, if this is the way. Fuck off. I've got a calculator, you dickheads. I know what's going on. I really do. Like, and it's not, no, you're not going to hide this in there. This is just the way things are. This is just, no. This isn't anything normal at all. This is part of some global fucking bullshit fucking valuing system that is branched off into absolute disassociated insanity. And you're all responsible. Every single one of you is responsible. Anyone receiving any government payment, you're responsible. All that money sloshing around, it's just like, this is hyperinflation. And it's hiding in bullshit. And it's killing people. And it's enslaving us. It is so bad. And it's being propped up and held in place by the inevitable fact that all you greedy fuckwits, and I can say it because I'm in the position. I'm exposing you all. You all want to share the fucking load and do all this shit. Fuck off. I am going to march my fucking way down there with a calculator and expose every single fucking last one of you fucking greedy fucking manipulative cunts that are hiding this fucking radical fucking tax that was never anything on the West Australian people while putting yourselves in cushy jobs. But go away. No. The whole thing. Boom. Bubble popped. Stick a pin in it. Let the fucking air out. Let all the fucking chips where they fucking lay, you big fucking pile of degenerate, gambling fucking assholes. Every last one of you, 50 and up, goodbye. Chickens are coming home to roost. Yeah, you've casinos shut, last drinks, get out. Have a good hard look at yourself on the way out. And bring your shovel tomorrow and help us, and more importantly, your broom. Throw your shovel in the fucking thing, stop digging us into this pit. Bring your broom and help us clean up the fucking mess that you all made. Goodbye. So this is warning again, like this is happening. It's happening right now. All of it. All of it's fucked. Cut us off, draw the fucking line around the state that's already there. Let's independently evaluate how insane this place is. Let's start with the public servants. Let's do an independent analysis of their compensation and their output, and let's compare that to their corporate things at a base minimum. So there we go. Labor's now gone, exposed as the most extreme, out of control, just, I don't know. It reminds me of those pictures of the Nazis at the camps having, you know, barbecues and shit. That's what you are. I'm sorry. Yeah? Time to get out. Now, don't let the door fucking hit you on the way out. We'll be fine. You don't want to be sitting there when I fucking arrive. I can guarantee you. You are all amazingly ill-prepared for anything that is about to happen. I can guarantee you that as well. The weird little existence you have benefited from since your, university days, watching Friends and drinking coffee and all this this is all vanished into a fucking entitled delusion of self-serving insanity, dispossession, and in my fucking opinion, genocide. So yeah, get out of there while you can. If you really feel exposed, I would leave the country. I would abandon your fucking house because it is worthless. I would get on a plane and I would get back to wherever fucking shithole you fucking scrambled your cockroach fucking ass out of to get here. All hell is about to break loose. Every single piece of fucking documented information that has been meticulously stored and calculated and ready to be drawn upon at any individual that we seek to expose for their self-serving, corrupt behaviour. Do not underestimate the size of this operation for 1 second. If your conscience is bleeding out and you really feel like you need to think, then please, by all means, hand yourself into wherever you feel you might need to and start making amends for the out-of-control behaviour and destruction you have caused to this state and to the people of this state. If you're a leader, then continue to cooperate as normal and get your cohort in order, the ones remaining that are actually willing to do their job efficiently. Efficiency is the great disregarded aspect to this whole machine that we call the West Australian state government. Despite them demanding efficiency in every other machine that we have interactions with, their own machine has been radically fucking ignored and is the most wasteful, disgusting example of bloated, bureaucratic, entitled fucking everything in human history. We have the atrocities of like the Soviet Union and all these things. This is disgusting purely by the level of how out of control it is. The comparisons we're going to make will make people throw up when we start giving these examples in high definition and distributing them across this state and showing what these comparisons are of someone working for government and somebody doing the equivalent job either voluntarily or as a small business owner or as, anything that isn't in government. These examples are going to be so horrific to anyone that can understand them, and we're going to do our best to show them in vivid detail. Size comparison. Remember the chart, the inconvenient truth that Al Gore did where, he had to get on the ladder? Do you know what 33 1/3 times looks like? Do you know how big a fucking ladder I need to do that? And that's not even taking into account the benefits and remuneration that is added on top of that mountainous pile of differentiation between 50 years. Let's start going into the cultural differences where we've shifted an entire generation 180 degrees in one generation. That'll be nice. And the very payments that cause the inflation, when we add them to the thing and we actually expose this whole thing, God damn it, it's gonna be one hell of a party. Run for the fucking hills right now. I'm giving you this one warning. Get the fuck out of there. Quit your job. Yeah. Go and move in with mum, move in with dad, move in with granny or your uncle or whatever. Go and buy a tent for $100 from BCF and go and set up a fucking camp with all you and all your commie mates and go and show us the example of that, how that works on a small scale, and maybe we'll appreciate it 20 years down the track when we need some feedback. What a disgusting fucking mess. What an absolutely just vomit-inducing pile of garbage this state has become. Some type of fictitious comparison because what we've established by people from England, that we are somehow in some alignment with efficiency of scale and distribution compared, no, we're not. You can't drive a semi-trailer loaded the same way as you drive a Japanese sports car. My God. My fucking good God. It's the scale of how bad this is that is protecting the whole thing, which is very strange. How bad it actually is. And anyone, certain individuals will know. Leave. Watch the rats exiting the ship. If you're intelligent enough to understand that, yes, this is indeed happening, yes, this is all going to unfold exactly as I'm saying, and yes, it is astronomically as bad as how I'm describing, then anyone intelligent enough to receive this pre-warning, because I think you deserve it, right? You're intelligent, you're probably bringing some type of thing, but yeah, you might have just benefited from a benefit structure that maybe dispossessed and killed thousands of people and led to atrocious things in domestic violence and abuse and alcoholism and all the fucking grossness that this has brought, which is directly lands in your lap. Because with every whatever of jobs losses or inflation, all those figures go up. And so yes, it is your fault. Same as the drunk driver driving his semi-trailer through a fucking school this is the same effect. That is a big machine that you're in control of and you killed people and that is who you are, right? So if you're intelligent enough to get this pre-warning, because intelligence is valued and we're going to need your skills, then get the fuck out while you can. Anyone who you like in there, I'd maybe give them the hint to get out as well. Maybe it's time to retire early. Maybe it's time for a sea change or anything like that. Anyone who you know is just the absolute worst examples, leave them in there. Leave them dangling in their gross little fucking Nazi bullshit fucking Auschwitz gulag barbecue so we can all wander in and take photos of them as their fucking stunned mullet faces face the reality of the absolutely disgusting situation they have perpetrated on this state. Evolution. This is evolution. It's fucking relentless. It is unrelenting. Has no any care for you. Just excuse me. I'm going to pause. Come on. It's got a bit of a delayed pause. Just pausing the air fryer. There we go. Delayed pause. I don't know why. There'll be some reason. There'll be some innovation why that delays. Great innovation, great invention, time saving. I love it. Air fryers are a wonderful piece of technology. I'm just heating up a meat pie. What could be more Australian than a meat pie? A bit of sauce on top. That's going to be lovely. I'm going to introduce you to a radical idea that has cost savings out the wazoo, and affects this large issue that we have to do with communication between maybe previous partners and children and families and all these things. And it's called a digital mediator, independent digital mediator. And what it does is it's a camera phone, and you could each have one, and you can turn it on, and you can maybe even in the beginning both look into the lens of the camera and collectively agree that this is being voluntarily recorded so that it can be used as evidence if that communication somehow devolved into anything that would be regarded as violence. So rather, and you see the wonderful thing about this is it has nothing to do with government and any of their potential biases or their incentive structures that might benefit from, I don't know, a particular bias towards one certain set of circumstances unfolding between communication between romantic or previously or married or parents. I mean, also as well, if there's any type of catastrophe, there's documented digital evidence there. Maybe you could have an app so that it's automatically stored somewhere, so that if you did do anything, there's no chance of deleting it. I don't know. Isn't this crazy? Yeah, isn't this wonderful? And then you're in the job of digging through the piles of miscommunication, built-up resentment, different incentives, different life, different experience, different historical family backgrounds, all the things that compile to make those types of relationships particularly hostile. And like a third umpire, remember that? Remember a third umpire? Yeah, wonderful. Doesn't cost anything. It's completely free, and it can lead to agreement on particular set of arrangements, or consensus on agreements about finances, about children, all those things. All you really need is that. And considering more than likely you would somehow in a relationship, if it's at some period, this is end, you should be able to have communication. It's a bit of a weird debate as to why anyone would be allowed to not do why, if this was, say, suggested. I'd like to see the explanations as to why. Maybe they'd call that coercion or something like that. I don't know. Even though anything, that's going to lead to an inevitable confrontation with lawyers, judges, all these things. I would be curious as to why this couldn't be used as a initial attempt, at least. It's worth a try, isn't it? Isn't it worth a try? Do it for the children. These are the types of things that I've heard my entire life since I was 20. my entire parental life when I became a parent. Do it for the children. When are you going to make an honest woman of her? When is it? While the entire bias of the world shifted 180 degrees and landed on my firm, but, inexperienced shoulders. So thank you all for that. I love when an experiment is undertaken on the entire world without even addressing it, and the burden of thousands of years of disruption and disagreement along gender lines is handballed off to an unknowing generation that is also receiving technological advancements like that Al Gore thing, like hockey stick graph, this like boom, like whoa, here you go, Shannon, there you go, mate. Just fucking deal with a whole lot of it, hey? 33 1/3 times inflation, you morons. Yeah, I'd like to start hearing, I'd like to line up a bunch of mothers and ask them a bunch of different questions, say a bunch of theoretic scenarios of things that might go wrong in the world or in their personal situation, and see how they might respond to those things, and see how, like, we could have a scorecard. And the one thing is that you cannot have any interaction with government. Okay, this is just theoretic, it's like a test, like a pop quiz. So you cannot have any interaction with government. You also can't ask your parents for help. And how would you do it? These are the things. You also can't put a mini skirt on and ask the people to change your tyre. Because this is equal, this is the new, beautiful, equal gender equality world that we live in. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it bloody just amazing? So, where did I start this? Innovation, yeah. Digital, independent mediation documentation. This is an easy app. It's 2 individuals, make a verbal agreement. Hey, I'm Shannon. My name is Shannon Wise. I'm agreeing to this documentation to be used as a reference to de-escalate any tensions, and I can consent to it being used against me in a court of law if whatever the framework is, so we can try and come to an agreement between the 2 parties without any interference from any government systems that potentially have a bias towards a certain outcome, perhaps in some type of elevating political control mechanism that remains unseen. That's a mouthful, but the best thing about the video independent mediation documentation is that you can press stop, rewind, rewatch. You can slow it down perhaps and go and look at all the terms in the dictionary that you're seeing, so that you can make sure you're having an accurate conversation. And this, then you can kind of be, it's like, this is negotiation. This is at its basis. I think once negotiation can be proven to be, like, my personal experience was that negotiation was leading to, I was getting clear examples that there was a miscommunication, then communication was withdrawn, and then I was attacked. And so still, I was trying to negotiate the best terms for all parties, and those negotiations were removed, deferred. That led to 2 years of disruption, false imprisonment in my thing, which, a potential false imprisonment to be specific, the destruction of my business that was put on hold, and the loss of time with my family. And that means the loss of time that I can, teach my children how to deal with this ever-changing world that I have quite a good handle on, shown by the fact that I'm doing this. all things that like breakdown of communication inevitably lead to, unfortunately.